just saying, but he's actually a puppet.
寺田を殺したのは確かにオウムの系列です。です。本家の命令ではありません。
Hi guys. Today we are checking the comment section because on Kick you can see the comment. So what's pretty funny is the hate in there. You know, when people try to give Chantal good advice, her chat become toxic, and when you go check the people that become toxic, they're the haters. So my guess is they like to see her like this, and to keep the content coming, they kind of manipulate her to be the way she is.
They manipulate whatever support she gets to.
Yeah, you know, and me, I'm not. I don't like the person. You know, I think she's inconsistent and she's trouble. But at one point, how do you make the difference between someone that's just want to expose her or being a bully? So I don't know. I think when you beat up a dog that's already on the floor, it doesn't make you someone. You know, her crying like this and being depressed and being manipulated and all, it's kind of pitiful and kind of a sad story. Not for her, in general. This is depressing, and I don't find fun out of beating a dog that's already almost dead. And I don't understand how come YouTube support this. To be honest,
So to speak, you mean?
sort of speak. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, I mean, this is terrible. You know, the person is, when she was with her husband and over there and making mistakes, it was funny because, you know, she's an idiot. But does an idiot deserve to become depressed and suicidal? And, you know, that's where I kind of draw the line. So I'm not making, we're not making any videos these days, especially her crying about her husband, because, you know, it's like beating a dog that's on the floor. I don't agree with the mean girl pack and the mentality and that goes with being in the girl world and all that. That's why we don't really associate to it. We are kind to everybody, but I mean, you know, when you look at our chat is full of crap, and the people are there just talk about food. And if they don't talk about food, they remind her
Some
out.
things are deserving and some things are not.
Exactly.
And right now, I think she's having a mental breakdown, and she's kind of giving signs of what do you call it? Depression or
Yeah,
what
depression
was the
or
thing we said? We said manic depressive.
yeah, she has
or-
problems. She needs to go see a
Yeah.
doctor.
She
And
needs.
she needs
mental
psychiatric
support.
help. Yeah, and I don't think that laughing at her and all
It's gonna
that.
help.
No, I think that, and a lot of you are repetitive. You know, all your chat and all your stuff is the same. You talk about the same schmoot. You know, like about her. So I don't know. But these days, I realize there's a lot of people in girl world. They're just bullies, and some of them really care, and they would like her to change, and they try to give her the tough love
Love
attitude, which is usually the best for someone like her. Tough love is good, but being a bully and laughing at her and looking at her drown and keep her there because some of her chat is you guys, is one of you, and I think this is evil. You know, you have to draw a line where someone needs help, and you have to pull back and do something else. Talk about Emberlyn, for example. She's still in a good, you know, in a good mental place, and she still can take it. But
And
fully,
Berlin is actually looking for it.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
why she went on knockout.
Yeah, can you imagine belittle yourself? Anyway, that's another subject. But yeah, I've been looking all the chat of this girl and looking at all the haters, and I'm like, man, there's not a video that you don't use her as, you know, a crying Crimea River bitch. But anyway, I'm kind of disappointed of adults that are not logic enough to know when to stop and talk about something else and let let let, um, let it rest. So I'm gonna keep up here, and we're gonna show you the chat. I want to go back up and down, but I don't do this anymore because like there's 20 of you guys is doing exactly
Sniping.
this, the same thing, snipping and
Sniping.
sniping, whatever. I think it's ludicrous. So I'm not gonna do sniping. I'm looking at the chat right now because it's crazy when you look at this, the comment over there, man. I and her crowd is an absolute lunacy. There's people who are totally out of it, and especially when it comes to horror movie and all that. Oh God, man, these people are nuts. Some of them are borderline murderer when they talk. It's scary. The other day, I had someone who was there undercover, and we were reading the chat, and it was so dark that we had to leave. I she's surrounded by really bad people, and I think that if you guys are adult enough to understand that, maybe just take a step back and let her take some rest.
What she hasn't considered is she was looking for attention
Yeah,
by
infamy.
opening this
Yeah,
channel,
yeah.
and she got attention from people she wants and people she doesn't want. The
Yeah,
difference is the problem is she can't tell the difference between who's who,
yeah.
who's on her side and who's not.
No, they're all crazy, man. Like garlic bread that talk crap, makes rumors. He's like a teenager. He's like a 16 years old teenager that just had their periods, and she's angry at everybody, or she's horny. She wants to do it with everybody. So that guy remind me of a little teenager, and like I said, I think it's ludicrous. I mean, there's so many things to do on the internet, and there's so many things to learn out there, and a lot of people will say, well, she's a loser and this and that. A lot of people who laugh at her are losers too, and they live off her solely, which is completely ridiculous. But anyway, that's my opinion today. I just want to show you how toxic our chat was today. People try to just put her on the right track, but there's some loony out there that just want to keep her there. And me as a believer, I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in the higher power. I'm not going to be a part of a bully crew to make someone suicide or push them over
To
the
unalive.
yeah, to unalive. Sorry, to go and jump over a bridge because some people are going too far or can't let it go. So anyway, just act like adult and treat others the way you want to be treated, and just know and draw the limits and when and how you can belittle someone online and almost ruin them. I think the chat is crazy, and if it's one of you guys, I don't know what you're thinking, but there's some evil spirit out there. And that's why we don't want to be online. We don't want to use our face. We don't want to do nothing. We just want to be recognized for our work and our editing and what we do for our community. We know we're never going to become a prop. And I think becoming a prop for internet is the worst thing you can ever do. Like OnlyFans, when you look at OnlyFans people, they always have to go lower and lower. Here in Quebec, there's a woman that actually put some gummy in her behind, and she was sick,
She
and
filmed it.
she filmed it for a client, and you know there's so much things that you have to do when you are the props to then go low to stay in the limelight. And Foodie Beauty is like the only fan chick, so she has to go further and further until they sleep with their client. So she has to take a step back, but I think her mental health is very fragile. So if you're a grown up and an adult, well, it might be time for you to chill a little bit on the pill of hating and go on somebody else. I think Emberlyn is one of a kind right now. And I realize a lot
Go to
of,
her. She's on lockout. She waits for you.
she's waiting for you. And there's another question I'm really wondering about all of you guys, is are you a bunch of fat fetishist people? Because the only thing you talk about it's every fat person online. There's so many people who are not credible.
Yeah, credible.
Credible. They are actually dumb and they do all kind of crazy stuff like sleeping in a tent with their girlfriend on welfare, whatever. There's so many things. Why are you always on the fat movement? Like there's nothing else that you can put in your editing and stuff. I don't know. I'm not a fat fetishist, so I don't care about all the fat girls out there. I stuck with Chantal because she's a Canadian like us, and she stopped me to eat when I didn't want to eat. I was just looking at her, and I'm like, I don't want to become like her, so I become some sort of an anorexic person because of her, and that's why I'm against mukbang online. But there's no way I'm going to go around looking at for other fat people. And
You didn't become a.
no. I just say it was just a figure of speech. She create anorexia, meaning I couldn't eat watching her. Well, I didn't
No,
want to vomit, but yeah. I
didn't
didn't
have
have
any
no.
problems.
No. I was just looking at her. It makes me stop want to eat when I was watching her. That's all I'm gonna say. But to be honest, I'm not a fat fetishist, and I'm not running after looking another Emberlin or whatever. I don't care. I think this is a waste of time, and if you want to make a money out of your editing career, you have so many subjects. Just go and have fun, but don't be the dog that's already on the floor. It doesn't make you look good, and it doesn't make you funny neither. So that's just an opinion from people who are adult, married for 20 years, and stable and succeed to climb up in the rank of society without having to put down other people and rob them from what they have, like, even if it's their sanity. So be careful when you do video about this chick. I think that when you see her having a mental breakdown, it's maybe time for you to just talk about something else for a day or two. Maybe you won't be responsible of someone to unalive or having deeper mental problem. So our chat is a big problem, and adults that laugh at her when they don't know when to stop are the problem too. That's what I realized by watching this train wreck from the get.